Caleb Williams. I had the privilege of watching Caleb Williams this season in USC's opener. He is a dude, supposed to be the top pick in next year's NFL draft. I won't throw any shade yet, James Jones. Prepare yourself. SC did beat James Jones' alma mater. Anyway, Joy Taylor, the Cardinals. Many people are suspecting that they might be tanking. Do you think the Cardinals are tanking?
It kind of smells a little funny in here. It really does. Plus, you know, once somebody does something and they show you who they are, you kind of have to believe them. And the Cardinals did take Josh Rosen and then move right up off of him immediately. So this is a team that has shown they are willing to move off of a pick. You want to talk about, we just talked about moving off a pick. They're not married to any kind of what they feel may be a mistake. I mean, they finished the season 4-13 last year, lost 7 straight games. The last quarterback to win a game for Arizona actually was Colt McCoy, playing the Rams, John Wolford's Rams last year. The current quarterback options that they have an NFL record of 1-18.
Lord.
So it doesn't look like they're approaching the season really well prepared at that position. Now, I don't like this. I really don't like tanking in general as a concept from the beginning of the season because I think it's difficult, and you all played formerly, so you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that it's hard to turn a culture of losing around like that. It's hard to make that pivot. Even though players and coaches don't really tank, organizations try to put you in that position if that's what they want. And at a certain point in the season, like, you know, you're sorry and you're not going to push through this injury. And, you know, there's a different mentality in the building. So I don't love it, but it sure looks like that's what they're planning.
Cardinals tanking. Cardinals tanking. Huh? Again, I know Colt McCoy well. I went back to college with Colt McCoy. I was in his wedding. I know him very well. But more importantly, as a football player, dude gonna win you a couple games. Yeah. He gonna win the Cardinals some games this year. Look at his completion percentage last year, 68%. Everything he does is on time. Now, you knew the Cardinals were probably tanking because they ain't got no talent. They emptied the cupboard. You know what? Let's get rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, J.J. Watt, you retire. No big deal. Isaiah Simmons, we don't really know what we're going to do with you. Let's trade you away, too. So you knew there was a chance they were tanking. Yeah. But now you want to trade away the one most important piece who had all of the experience. Colt McCoy goes back as a starter to the Cleveland Browns in the year 2010, if I'm not mistaken, when they drafted him in the 3rd round. So this is a dude with experience who's quarterback, and you just up and get rid of him? Yeah. People always say, like, there's no tanking in pro sports. You can't tell athletes to go out there and loaf. That is true. But you can put in players that are not as capable of winning as other players. Josh Dobbs got traded on Thursday. 4 days ago. He's going to be the starter, or Clayton Tune, 5th-round pick, who I covered in college out of Houston. Good player, but a 5th-round pick, young boy. So, to me, Jay, this is as close to tanking as I have ever seen.
It is, and you're right. I mean, number one, the roster is not that good anyway with the Cardinals, with Colt McCoy under center, right? But then you trade away Colt McCoy, who's a veteran, who understands this offense, who can get the ball out to the receivers that they have because they have some speed. And you're right. You can put the players out there to really not win football games. And you know what that messes up? That messes up the locker room. That gets in the receivers' heads, the running backs' heads, all them heads. Because I know now I got to go out there with Dobbs, and I'm Hollywood Brown. Hold up. Hand me hurt. You know, it's just stuff like that. Because you're like, man, I'm not going to go out there with this young dude, mess around, get hurt, or anything like that. So they absolutely are tanking it. But this is big right here because if you do try to tank it and you do not win that number 1 pick, right, then what you going to do? You going to trade a bunch of picks to go get them? So for me, this screams a little bit more than that because as for me, I really, when I seen this trade, I'm like, Kyler Murray got to hurry up and come back. Like, I know everybody's looking like, you know, once he come off the PUP list, if they 1-7 or whatever that may look like and all that, he shouldn't come. No, he has to play.
But he can't. He can't.
If you come off the PUP list and you can play, he has to go. He has to play some type of football this year, or he will be traded.
Shady, I want you to weigh in before I respond to that point. But where do you stand? You think the Cardinals tank?
Y'all beating around the bush. I don't know why. I mean, listen. If it quack like a duck, look like a duck, smell like a duck, it's a duck. They tanking. What are we talking about? Listen, your franchise quarterback is hurt. He's not playing, right? You trade a veteran in Colt McCoy, who everybody can say he's a solid backup.
Release him.
I feel like when sometimes as players, when you have a backup, you're like, oh, man. We have certain backups, you're like, okay, we still solid. We can win with him.
Yep.
That's one. Isaiah Simmons, he's that type of safety where you can move him anywhere. As a defensive coordinator, you love a guy like that. You can move him around, do different things with him. They're not trying to win here. They got a new coach. That's always the best time to tank. New coach, our expectation level is not high. We can do different things, so I just feel like this, man. Caleb Williams out there. Kyler is up and down. I call him little man. I would take it. Go and tank. You're doing the right thing. Give some players, get some talent, and go out there and compete in your division.
Here's the hard part, though, and Joy alluded to it, is in the locker room, it's going to be hard. If you Buda Baker.
It's going to be hard.
If you a Pro Bowl caliber, all-pro caliber safety, you Hollywood Brown, you Rondale Moore, and you got to go out to practice. Forget the games. The games is a fun part, America. What y'all don't realize is you got to go out to practice 20 periods. 24 periods in the heat. And you got to run through these drills knowing good and well you don't have a chance on Sunday. And the reason you don't have a chance is because you quite literally don't have a capable quarterback. No slight to Dobbs. Dobbs don't even got burned in this system for me to get him.
He hasn't even been there yet.
Exactly. If Dobbs had been playing, I might change my opinion a little bit. I think Dobbs showed competency for the Titans last week.
He did. No, he did. He did.
He showed competency. I think he was playing the Jags and almost won that game, however it went. So
my question is strategically, though. You're gonna trade Kyler Murray. It's a $46 million cap hit. So you're bad this year. Say you got to be bad enough because you can't be kind of bad. So you got to be bad enough because nobody's trading out of that first pick. If they get that first pick, it better be because somebody great got hurt and they wound up in that spot. There's no other way that anyone's passing on Caleb Williams. They get that spot. So you better have the number one spot. Then you're going to have a $46 million cap hit. So it's not like you're going to be able to spend any money on anybody to bring in to bolster the roster that was bad last year intentionally. So now you got 2 years of being bad, really, because Caleb Williams is a rookie. You're going to assume it's going to be rocky, right? Doesn't Kyler Murray have to get sunburn in order for you to trade him as well?
The reason I say he can't, though, is because I'm thinking about it selfishly. And everybody at this desk, make yourself Kyler Murray for a second. You're coming off an injury. So you already know you're, to some degree, more susceptible for injury. I was studying ACL tears before. I think, Joy, you may have torn yours. The person who tears their ACL is 3 times as likely to tear their other ACL as the person who has never torn their ACL. So you come off an ACL tear off rip. So you know you're more susceptible. Your team is sorry. So what are you playing for? Check on cash either way. You're not playing for your job because more than likely you're getting saved.
But it's the NFL, though. Like, they can't, as a team, you're just going to sit Kyler Murray?
As a player. If I'm
Kyler,
he
can't say he can't play.
He absolutely can. Most players do. Most players would be like, I'm hurt.
Well, Kyler Murray, like I say, you're talking about 230 M's, right?
Yeah.
So somebody's going to have to come trade for that as well, too, right? And I'm trading for that knowing that you have not took a snap. You know, like, I don't know what I'm getting. I can see if you're a young player and I'm trading for you, you know what I mean, and you ain't making millions. That's different. You have to pay this man bread. Right? So that's different. He has to go out here and show other teams, if this is going to happen, that I can play this game. I truly believe if Kyler Murray plays, they're not going to get the number one pick because they are going to win some of these games when Kyler Murray plays.
But you know
Kyler Murray is that type talent.
There's a little bit of nuance to it all because Kyler doesn't necessarily have to say, I don't want to play, and the coaches don't have to necessarily say, don't play.
No, he's in a different situation
what's the trade value from another team to come and pay him $230 million if he's been injured and he didn't play this
Well,
year?
the kicker is this. If the Cardinals do eat the majority of that first $46 million, remember, by the time you are acquiring Kyler, which would be next year, where Kyler ranks in quarterback value will probably be, as you all know.
But he also wouldn't have played football for almost a season and a half.
That is true. We've seen it happen before. We've seen the Cleveland Browns do the same thing.
And I'm assuming,
and we don't know if that's going to work out yet either.
I don't know off rip right now, and our researchers should help us. But I'm assuming there's probably no trade clause in there, right, for Kyler Murray. Right? So he's going to have to approve this. We're going to have to figure that out, too, because he's going to have to approve this because we know if they do want to trade him, he's not going to no boo-boo to foo-foo.
But
he's going to a contender.
But where is worse than Arizona? Like, outside of quarterback, anywhere Kyler can go, truth be told, roster-wise, will be better than the Cardinals.
But now for Kyler, the mindset got to be, I got to win a championship. I got to get to one of them rosters, whatever that roster may look like.
He doesn't have a no-trade clause. Just heard that. It's fascinating nonetheless. But what else is fascinating? Aaron Rodgers finally...
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.